Hello Ghana, this is Fruits of the Womb, your authentic source of maternal and child health information. My name is Dr. Vera Bayu. Today on Fruits of the Womb, like we promised last week, we are continuing our discussion on dental problems in children. We'll go on a quick break. When I come back, I'll introduce my guests and we go right into the discussion. Stay tuned. So welcome back. This is Fruits of the Womb, brought to you by kind courtesy of Cousins Baby and Camel Baby Antiseptic. Let's stay interactive. Join us on our Facebook page. Go to Facebook, type Fruits of the Womb, and you can post your questions, comments, and contributions. Today we are doing the part 2 of dental problems in children. And here in studio are two lovely guests. They were here with us last week and we are continuing our discussion. On my extreme right is Dr. McLean Okan. He is a general dental practitioner at Platinum Orthodontics and Advanced Dentistry. They are located at 108 Finale Drive North, next to Leicester Hospital. And on my immediate right is Dr. Gameli Nodo. He is the Executive Director of Sunny Smiles Dental Clinic, East Legon, Shell, near the Dell International Fertility Hospital. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So last week we looked at development of teeth in children. We looked at the problems that can occur during development and what can be done. We looked at braces and all that. But let's say your child has normal teeth. How early should you start brushing your child's teeth?
Okay, so I'll take that angle. How early should you start brushing your child's teeth? When a baby is born, we know our mothers and our fathers, I don't want to exclude the fathers, would clean the baby's mouth with a washcloth. So we get some water on it, clean the tongue regularly once they are feeding. Now, this mechanism starts getting the child to know about cleaning their mouth. Now, the minute teeth start coming into their mouth, so that you expect the first tooth in the mouth around 6 months. And usually it's the lower jaw that comes in first. That is when we want you to start brushing. Okay? In situations where you can't get access to a whole toothbrush, the washcloth will still pass. But fortunately, these days, we have the...
So I was going to ask you actually want us to brush?
Yes.
Like brush?
Brush. So
okay.
There's the finger toothbrush, like what I have on my finger.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, so anyone can get some. It has very soft bristles.
Are these available?
They are widely available.
Where?
You could get them in dental clinics. You can get them in pharmacies. You should be able to get them in any good supermarket.
So when you go, what do you tell?
You just want the finger toothbrush.
Finger toothbrush.
And most baby shops will have them on sale.
Okay.
So you get that. You get the toothpaste for the corresponding age of the child.
Okay.
You put a little bit, and then you clean the teeth. So these are not teeth of a child, but
obviously not.
but you go around the teeth,
okay.
and then you massage the gums. Okay. As you do both bottom and the top, the child starts getting used to the concept of brushing. Initially, expect some resistance. It's something new. They are learning. Don't give up. You would have to do it a couple of times. You do this over and over. At a point, you will move from finger glove because you realize now if they have the full complement of teeth, that's not what will be effective. So you move to your regular toothbrush. Now, a child's toothbrush has a small head, and this is what I mean by the head. Okay. It has a small head. You get one with a small head. Make sure the bristles for a child are either soft or medium. Not hard. Not very hard. Okay? We need soft or medium. Then you look for the toothpaste with the fluoride concentration appropriate for the age.
So you are saying that children shouldn't use toothpaste made for adults?
No.
What exactly is the problem with that?
So too much fluoride creates problem. So you could, when you have a child consuming so much fluoride, it can lead to fluorosis. So I'm sure we all know somewhere in in Ghana, there's a district called Bongo. Yes, they have fluoride in their water. The people drink it. You see the kids, you see the signs on their teeth, and they have what we call fluorosis. Okay. So too much of that is not good.
Bad. We interviewed some people in Accra. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Accra so young bear 1 year. But you mentioned in the same man. There's a 1 year and an is about power when I
naked now 1 year. They here fine. The lunch, Ranyesha, Jackie is Monica.
Interesting comments there. So we had one of those that were interviewed saying that the child can start brushing their own teeth as soon as they can. What are your thoughts about that, Dr. Nodo?
So that isn't the way to go about it. First of all, we should break it into 3 phases. So once the child has, as we talked about, once from 6 months to the age about 7, it's important that both either mother or father or grandparent will go through the process of doing the brushing first thing in the morning, maybe after breakfast, last thing at night. That is the last thing you do before you go to bed. You should use instruments that gives advantage, as he has shown, and then toothbrushes that tend to attract them. These ones that have maybe Spider-Man, Superman, all those type of toothbrush, and then use the right toothpaste that goes with it. But it's important that you do it for them from age 1 or from 6 months to 6 years.
All the way to 6 years?
Yes, you are to do it. You are to do it for the child. Now, from 6 going up to 10 years, they are supposed to do it once, whilst you do it once for them. So it helps for them because before age 10, they haven't completed their dexterity. So they will not be able to do all the complicated rolling movements and things. But once they do it once, and you do it again for them, you ensure that
they are doing the right thing.
They are learning
those
whilst
are the
you are cleaning.
difficult ages, you know.
Exactly.
Especially when they are toddlers, 2, 3,
you have to
4.
fight them. It's important.
And they want to do, because sometimes they'll tell you, I want to do it myself. I want to do it myself.
It's okay. Let them do it once themselves. Let them do it. But then it's important that both morning and evening, a parent has done it for them.
Okay.
But from 7,
then
they can do it on their own once.
Okay.
It is from 10 years of age that they are left alone. By then, you would have made sure that they didn't develop caries and all that. And things are in good stage for them to continue on their own.
Very interesting. I'm sure a lot of my viewers they are surprised by this because most people, and like one of those interviewed said, that once the child is 1 year and can hold the brush, to give it to the child to brush. This is very interesting knowledge. Dr. Okan, what is dental caries? It's something we hear a lot of times. Dental caries. What exactly is it? What causes it?
Okay, so I'm going to try and simplify dental caries as much as possible.
Yes, please do.
So I have this little thing on my side. We have what we call the sugars or the fermentable carbohydrates. So that's the sugar. Then we have this nice creature here, that's bacteria. Then we have a clock that represents time. And then this is a nice tooth with the black part representing the decay or caries. So basically, dental caries is the same as dental decay. Okay. It comes about basically because the bacteria in your mouth, normal flora in your mouth, it lives there, breaks down the fermentable carbohydrates, produces an acid, and all it needs is time, and then the acid decays the tooth, creates what we call the hole. Okay. Simply put, that's how it comes about. In all of this equation, you realize the only thing you can really control is the sugars. Okay. You can't do much about the bacteria because
they are there.
They are there. Your teeth are in your mouth anyway. You can't do much about time, but you can control the sugars.
And you know, sometimes kids wake up at dawn and say they are hungry. So you give them
yes.
some juice.
I know that feeling very well. Whether it is a 2-year-old or a baby, parents, we want to sleep. I understand. I've been there. I'm there.
So
I know.
do you really want the parents, after giving the juice, to clean the teeth before
if
they
you
go back
can't
to bed?
clean, get water in the kid's mouth and let them rinse.
Okay.
That once you are switching the water around and you're able to rinse everything out, that for me gives you some protection than nothing at all.
Okay.
So I know, like, a typical one would be like when a baby is crying, mommy wants to sleep, they just push the breast milk into the child's mouth.
Yes.
It
So that mommy
happens
can
once.
sleep.
Mommy can sleep.
Is
And
there
then
a problem with that?
mommy can sleep fine, but then my worry is breast milk is also broken down and it will go through the same cycle. So I see, when you see a 1.5-year-old, a 2-year-old with decay all over, and then the mother will tell you it's inherited. It's not. You left breast milk in the mouth and he has baby bottle caries.
And a lot of mothers do that.
And you do it because you want convenience.
Yeah.
Rather, train the child, if possible, to learn how to, if it is going to sleep with a feeding bottle in the mouth, but it is only water that is in there, I'll prefer that. Or just a clean pacifier in the mouth. I'll prefer that
To
than leaving breast
breast.
milk in the mouth. Or these days, you have even parents who they put sugar in water, put it in the feeding bottle, and then just push it in the mouth because
so that the baby
I want to
starts
sleep,
until
baby
they fall
can sleep.
asleep.
You don't want that, because once there's this contact time, decay will happen.
Yes, Dr. Nodo.
Yes. So just to add a little more, just a few tips to this. In addition to the sugars, the bacteria, the thyme, there has to be the presence of teeth. So if there isn't presence of teeth, there wouldn't be any. With the issue of the breast milk being in the child's mouth, I'm sure there will be people who advocate for sole breastfeeding, strict breastfeeding, and they would say that, so what happens? What do you do then? Remember that period is supposed to be from birth to 6 months. So in between that part, when they're doing the sole breastfeeding, there's really nothing wrong.
Because there are no teeth.
There are no teeth in the mouth.
Okay, so from birth to 6 months, you can leave the breast.
You can leave the breast in the mouth and sleep, and you don't have problems.
Now you're talking.
Okay. And then after that, as he said, now if you're using pacifiers, it's best to ask for orthodontic pacifiers. Ask for orthodontic pacifiers, and they help to develop the palate in a proper way that wouldn't lead to malocclusions in the process. And in addition, no to the sweetener, like sugary stuff, juice and all that whilst they sleep. It's totally not acceptable.
No. No
Water.
juices.
Just water in a bottle or a pacifier.
So even when the child specifically says, I want juice.
Well, you can give the child juice, but then
They have to raise their
swish and swallow.
All right.
Yes, the swish and swallow is necessary.
So viewers, I'm sure you're learning so much from today's episode. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll go on a quick break and we'll be right back. So welcome back, viewers. This is Fruits of the Womb, where we bring the specialists right to your doorsteps. Fruits of the Womb is brought to you by kind courtesy of Casson's Baby and Camel Baby Antiseptic. We've been looking at dental problems in children. You want to stay interactive? Join us on our Facebook page. Go to Facebook, type Fruits of the Womb, and you can post your questions, comments, and contributions. We're looking at dental caries before we went on the break.
Yes.
So how is it managed? Quickly.
Okay, so
Management and prevention.
management and prevention. Okay, so management, basically once you detect a cavity or you see your child complains to you about a hole in their teeth, you need your child to see a dentist. Once they see a dentist, there are various options available. Your dentist would examine. Based on the examination, we'll know whether we need to do any x-rays, and then depending on the results of the x-ray, you'll be given several options. One option is to do a filling. That way the hole or the cavity is sealed. Another option will be to treat where the nerve tissue is. That's pulp therapy, depending on how deep the cavity is.
Okay.
Another option, the one we don't like, is to take out the tooth.
tooth.
So that's basically the management. You are stuck with those. every dentist will do their best to keep a baby tooth in the mouth until the tooth falls out naturally.
Okay.
Okay, but the core aim of dentistry is prevention. So I would say prevention is everything. I would prefer a child coming to me when there's no problem than when they are in pain. Okay, so when they come to me when there's no problem, after that examination, we would teach the child, we clean the teeth, teach them how to disclose their teeth so that they know whether they are cleaning properly. Okay. After that, we apply fluoride to protect their teeth. And then there's something else we call fissure sealants. So the grooves in the teeth, which are likely to trap food, we put a sealant over there and seal it up. Okay. That way, every time food goes in there, it's self-cleansing, and then you try and prevent decay.
Okay. Yeah. Any more about prevention?
When you look at this, I think it speaks for itself. It says, think before you drink.
Okay.
Basically, we know the various carbonated drinks that we go after and the sugars in them. And we've spoken about sugar and how it leads to decay. And so when you look across, your average fizzy drink has 9 cubes and a bottle of water has no sugar. You should just be informed when you are buying them, and then do what is appropriate. Swish and swallow or brush immediately. Okay. Good.
Dr. Nodo, any other dental problems that children may present that we've not discussed yet?
So
briefly.
To have the full complement of dentists that kind of work together to manage dental problems in children, you should know that there are several. So you would have the general practitioner, you would have the pedodontist, you would have the orthodontist.
What does the pedodontist do?
They are specific in, or they are specialized in handling children.
Children, okay.
Yes, so they have you go to their facility and you see it's child friendly. Okay. So they normally wouldn't take care of adults. But in children, you know, from child friendly dental chairs to the setup and all that. Okay. And then you have the restorative specialist who will tend to add more creative ways of restoring broken down tooth from caries and all that. Now, there's several things that can occur apart from the caries. Other problems, you can have what we mentioned earlier, like dental crowding, or you can have spacing, you can have supernumerary.
That's more than is expected.
And then there's also...
I told you if you use big terms, we'll take you to court. From last week.
Okay. And then you should know that there's something that we call overjets, where you tend to have the teeth pointed to front forward. In our local terms, we'll call it silver glasses. You know, then you can have and those are important because they make the child prone to trauma, because once they are protruding, they don't have the support of the teeth behind. The lip too may not be covering it properly. Fully. So it tends to be prone to trauma. You can have a deep bite, so that will tend to affect the palate, and it tends to be traumatic.
Where is the palate?
The palate is the roof of the mouth.
Okay.
You're tired.
Right, okay. So when the palate is right there, that's the roof of the mouth. Okay. And then we tend to have delayed eruptions. Okay. So delayed eruptions where you tend to find out that sometimes either the canine didn't erupt in time, or maybe as a result of too early extraction during the sequence of development, a tooth was lost too early, so you tend to have other teeth blocking their pathways.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you have some mothers complain that they have kids who are a year old and have just 2 teeth. Is that a problem?
Yes. I mean, if a child is a year old and has just 2 teeth, I mean, it shouldn't be, because we know that the first set of teeth erupt into the mouth, the lower ones around 6 months to 8 months, and then it's followed by, from 8 to 10 months, you tend to have the upper following. And some people are late developers. If you tend to be confused what's happening, you go to the dentist and we'll take radiographs to see what is preventing. Is there something that is obstructing the growth of the tooth and all that, the eruption. So it should follow a sequence, which we should learn. We should try and find out and ask our dentist or read about it so that when it's getting too late, then we know there is a challenge.
So the key is we need to see our dentist. How often?
We recommend every 6 months, twice a year, every 6 months you see your dentist. We prefer you see the dentist when you are not in pain. That way your memories of the dentist
and not
are
when the jaw is swollen.
Not when your jaw is swollen, because your memories when you are leaving may not be pleasant
at all.
Yes.
So viewers, as you know, every week we have a question on what was discussed in studio. And if you get the answer right, you might win a prize from our sponsors. So for this week, the question is...
After what age should you let your child independently brush their teeth? A. 2 years. B. 6 years. C. 12 years.
Send your answer to the number on the screen. Let's check out last week's winner. Congratulations. So, as usual, time is running. So just some final words. Anything that you really wanted to come out that hasn't come out yet. Just in the next 1 minute, summarize.
There is this thing that we didn't talk about. It's called flossing. Flossing is where we use certain... they are designed as threads, and it's used to clean in between the teeth, because most of the time our toothbrushes aren't designed to go in between the contact point, and it goes beneath the gum line, and it helps to more or less remove plaque and bacteria accumulation over there. As Dr. McLean said, the bacteria are present, but at the end of the day, we are to do our job by reducing the amount of bacteria, by ensuring we do our personal oral health care very judiciously. And so as to, when we reduce the amount, there isn't much available to cause harm. And then, once you have any challenge, visit the dentist, ask questions. The dentists are our friends. You talked about them being expensive. Indeed, most of the time they are expensive, but that is why we are advocating that our governments and all that try to do their best to incorporate, for example, during pregnancy, they incorporate some insurance packages for pregnant women to ensure that during pregnancy they are well handled. They can see which is covered properly. It's just unfortunately our dental premiums currently are quite low, and they don't really make dentists happy to see insurance cases. But that is something that is also to be dealt with. That's a policy issue.
I'm sure they are watching and they've heard. Dr. Okan.
My final tip: we are having more and more kids getting involved in sports. Right? I have two things for them. One, if you know your kids are getting involved in contact sports, whether it's rugby, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, I would advise parents, get your child to see a dentist so that they fabricate what we call a mouth guard or a sports guard for them. Because in these contact sports, someone may accidentally elbow you or push you, and then your front tooth is the first one likely to go. That tooth is supposed to last you from age 6 till you are 100 when you die. You don't want to start
losing it
early. So that is one thing. And then a simple home tip for all parents and caregivers. If you are at home and the unfortunate thing happens, a child is pushed, the tooth comes out, don't panic. Find the tooth, hold it by the crown, what we call the crown, the part that you see.
Okay.
Get a container that you can either put milk, saliva, or saline if you have, keep the tooth in it, and see a dentist within the first 4 hours,
Immediately.
you are more likely to save that tooth.
Okay. You mean the tooth can actually be put back?
Yes.
Wow.
You are more likely to save the tooth if it is done within the first 4 hours.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Dr. Macklin Okan of Platinum Orthodontics and Advanced Dentistry. And thank you so much, Dr. Gameli Nodo, who's the Executive Director of Sunny Smiles Dental Clinic. Viewers, I'm sure that you've been fed with so much knowledge today. If you have questions, you can go to our Facebook page, put them up. We'll be there to address them. This is Fruits of the Womb, brought to you by kind courtesy of Casson's Baby and Camel Baby Antiseptic. My name is Dr. Vera Bayu. I hope to see you same time next week. Remember, God loves you. Stay blessed.